Good morning and welcome to Nora's Dog Training Company. We're here today with Karma and Fred, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today on video is Karma's ability to understand and respond to her formal on-leash obedience commands. The first thing that we're going to take a moment to introduce is the training equipment that we're using. Fred is using a regular 6-foot web training leash, and he keeps the bulk of that leash folded in his right hand. That leaves his left hand free to give a correction, and the only correction that we ever use is a little tug and release on her training collar, and that is the second piece of equipment that we're using. Karma's going to come home with her very own training equipment, and like you and I spoke about, we may be changing that as we move forward, but for now this is what we're using, and you'll be taught how to put it on and take it off and use it properly. Now she's sitting very nicely at Fred's left, which is where formal obedience training is done. And the first exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you is heeling. Heeling is proper walking on a leash, and the command is Karma heel. Now at this point, Karma has a job to do, and that is to stay even with your left leg when you're walking her, not dropping her head, not stopping to sniff or go potty, but walking nicely with you, and each time that you stop, she sits automatically without being told. So if you're stopping by the car to put items in the car, she should be sitting nicely, waiting for you and waiting for her next command. And the next command that we're going to demonstrate is the sit-stay. The stay is a hand and a voice command, and because it is a stationary exercise, it is a one-word command. The long sit-stay, when you're practicing at home and practice right in the house, is for 30 seconds, and you're going to want to work up to 3 minutes as quickly as you can, because she's a good girl and she's a quick study. When Fred returns back to her, as an additional distraction, he is going to walk all the way around her. Now he's going to put her back into a sit because she got up, and she's always, you can tell by her body language that she's afraid of making a mistake. And that's just her personality. Nothing that we've ever done has made her feel that way. She just is a little shy girl, and she wants to please very much. And she knows that she made a mistake, so she was going to do all of the commands all at one time. Fred gives her lots of love for praise, and that's our reward in training. You don't have to worry about carrying treats. And if you notice her looking up at Fred, she's looking at him for direction, and that is something that you can't teach. Dogs either have it or they don't. And she's very, very in tune with him, looking up at him, and each time that he stops his feet, she sits. So this is going to make walking her a pleasure.
Stay.
Fred leaves her in another sit-stay. And like I said, these stationary commands can be practiced right in the house, and everybody can participate. This time, instead of returning all the way back around her, he's going to call her. He praises her on the way in. She comes right in front and sits facing his knees, not jumping all over, and then she goes right back to heeling. She's really doing a great job here at school. I know she's going to be so excited to come home. But I want these things to stay in place for you so that she becomes more and more a part of you and not a challenge.
Stay.
Fred leaves her in another sit-stay. And again, you can lengthen these sit-stays out, but we are going to demonstrate the come-on command again. You always want to praise her up under her chest, up under her chin, to keep her body language up and happy. And ultimately, I think that we would be able to get her walking beside your motorized chair as well, because she is so willing to please and she just wants to be with you. Now the next exercise that we're going to be demonstrating for you is the down from a heel position. So with her seated at your left, you take your left open palm, push it straight down toward the ground, and give the one-word command to down and stay. And actually she's working almost on hand signals alone. Now your long down stay is a little bit longer. You can start out at about 1 minute, and I want you to work all the way up to 5 minutes. That's your homework. But she's doing great. I don't know how long she would hold this if we wanted to stand here and tape this for 5 minutes, but she's doing really well. She's not all over the place. She's not sniffing the ground. When Fred returns back to her, he walks all the way back around her, ending all the way back around to where they start and stop each time is at heel position. He told her she was a good girl, and off they go again. And I'm going to be anxious to see you working with her. And that was a little bit of a slow sit there. Now Fred's going to do that down from a heel position again.
Stay.
The down, and then you tell her to stay, because if you don't tell her to stay, she's going to get up. You have to tell her what you want. And this time Fred will call her out of that down stay.
Good girl.
She's so adorable. We love her. She's one of the nicest dogs that we've had in training recently. She's just a good kid. Now the very last command that we're going to demonstrate for you is our down from a distance. So you're going to leave her in a sit stay. You're going to walk out to the end of your leash and turn to face her. You're going to use your right hand to give the command. And you see how easy that was. No correction needed. So we've demonstrated for you her heel, her automatic sit, her sit stay, her come, her down stay, and her down from a distance. We are very, very proud of her. She is a great girl. She's got great bowel and bladder control, and I'm going to be helping you with that as well. We've enjoyed every minute of having her. We want to thank you for choosing Nora's Dog Training Company.